WNST, Towson Bowling. We've been bragging on our new relationship with Coppin State and Coppin State Sports. You can learn more about everything they're doing over there on North Avenue at CoppinStateSports.com. And, of course, the Juan Dixon program here and all the coaches. We're going to be featuring all of them. She is entering her third season as the head women's bowling coach at Coppin State University. Shawnita Middleton joins us now, making her first appearance here with us. First off, let me say this. I mean, I was a kid growing up bowling. I always kid Danny Wiseman, my Hall of Fame friend. He's in the PBA Hall of Fame from Dundalk, about whether bowling's a sport or not. And he is absolutely, he and I beat each other up about this all the time. But, I didn't know that there were a whole lot of places that had bowling programs collegiately. So this is kind of fun for me. So tell me about it, Shawnita.
Yeah, so I'm starting with, yes, bowling is definitely a sport. There are a lot of colleges, collegiate programs that host bowling. A lot of people just don't know. Bowling is big in the high school setting as well. Out of New Jersey, New York, those are some of the places I recruit from. Florida. It's for them as big as basketball or football up here for us.
Well, I know for Danny, he made a life of it for 30 years. We went to middle school together, high school together, and the next thing I know, he's on Saturday afternoons winning tour events and all that. And, I would say that perhaps your team's thoughts are a little more humble than that and being a PBA Hall of Famer. But, tell me about your program and building a program. You said recruiting. I've been doing this 26 years. It's new to me, so educate me about the bowling set in colleges.
Okay. Yes. Again, I'm going into my third season. I go out just like, any other coach to go recruit at different youth tournaments throughout the state. The kids start bowling as early as 4 or 5 years old. And in different youth leagues.
I was a duck pin guy myself because I'm a Baltimore guy.
You was a duck pin guy?
Yeah, you're from Baltimore. You roll duck pins on the east side. Yeah. I always kid Wiseman about that. He was the only kid I knew that actually 10-pin bowl. We all duck pin bowl, though,
Well, it's definitely grown since then. So little kids, they're 10-pin bowling. Not so much as duck pin. I travel around in different tournaments to recruit for my program. New York, Jersey, PG County, tournaments that are held here in Baltimore as well. And I'm just in the process of just trying to build up my program.
Well, tell me about where you guys roll and how folks can be involved in some way. I know you have a Twitter page. I've been on that as well. It's Coppin_bowling. It's the official Twitter account. They have a bowling program at Coppin. I'm learning things all the time here as a new partner with Coppin State. We're going to have all the Coppin basketball games on WNST this winter as well. Shawnita Middleton is our guest. You can follow her out at the CoppinStateSports.com website as well. So you have tournaments coming up and invitationals where several universities get together and roll, right?
Yeah, correct. On any given weekend, we can bowl against 10, 15 different schools. Some top 25 ranked schools as well. Our next tournament will be at Virginia Union Invitational. There are 2 top 25 schools that will be in attendance. We'll actually be hosting the first of 3 MEAC matches November 11th and 12th at AMF Towson Lanes.
Do all the MEAC schools have bowling teams?
No, all of MEAC schools don't have bowling teams. That's something hopefully moving forward in the future that we can get going. That way we can expand the sport of bowling. Because bowling is huge. A lot of people don't realize it. A lot of people don't know that collegiate bowling is out there.
Well, how many teams are there in the state of Maryland? How many other universities do you roll against locally?
Morgan has a bowling team. Howard University, those other schools in the MEAC. University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Then we get into Delaware State, the MEAC schools, Norfolk, North Carolina A&T, Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M, as well as ourselves.
Well, you know what? With Raven players over the last 20 years, there's cornhole in one corner, but there's a whole bunch of guys always in the NFL that bowl. Jerome Bettis, Ray Lewis always had a bowling tournament here. Eric Rett was a huge bowler back in the day. So, I kid a lot of those guys about bowling because those are the people that I run in contact with that actually go out and bowl once a week or twice a week.
Yeah, bowling it's great. It's a nationally recognized sport, believe it or not. You have the PBA, the WPBA for the women, and I travel myself bowling different competitions and tournaments as well. So occasionally I meet some of the high women's professional bowlers. And it's great because I can gain information to bring back to my program to extend, my program, get it to a level that I would like for it to be at.
I was kidding Danny Wiseman a couple weeks ago. I had him on the show, and a dear friend of mine came up this weekend and said he heard the conversation. And, Wiseman's like, if you don't think it's a sport, go out and try to bowl 100 games in 3 days and try to bowl yourself into a tournament on a Wednesday, a Thursday, or Friday, and then go out on a weekend and practice by rolling 400 games over a weekend to practice to get out on the road. And then you tell me what tendonitis is all about, and we'll tell you it's a sport. So there. So I got bowling's back. Shawnita Middleton entering her 3rd season as the head women's bowling coach at Coppin State University. You can learn more about what they're doing over at Coppin_bowling. Shawnita, a pleasure to have you aboard. And bowling's one of the things that like an amateur guy like me can actually go out and do. So I do love the bowl from time to time, and I love to brag about the time I beat Danny Wiseman the one time at Brunswick Lanes in Perry Hall. So I'm still living off the fat of that 20 years later.
Off of that?
I got it framed, signed. I have the line score. I started with 4 strikes, and he had to play catch up, and it was all over for him.
Oh, that's something to live off of. I'll be doing the same thing if it was Danny Wiseman.
It is my only bragging moment I have as an athlete. I get a lot of athletic supporter bragging moments, but nothing that's a real athlete. So, Shawnita, I appreciate the time. Great having you on. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Nestor.
You got it. Shawnita Middleton entering her 3rd year as the head women's bowling coach over at Coppin State. We are the voice of Coppin State sports here this year. You're going to be hearing from all of their coaches throughout the year, including Juan Dixon, and, of course, the basketball program alive and well. Get on over. If you haven't been over to the gym at Coppin, you really need to check it out. We're going to continue our Coppin State series in a moment.